Chandler Parsons was a young rising star in the NBA, and in the first couple of seasons that he played, he was playing really solid. But for the past 2 seasons, he hasn't been producing on the level that he used to, and you'll see what happened to him in a few seconds. If you are new to my channel and not subscribed, subscribe, because I drop basketball videos and I cover different topics of the NBA. Once again, it's Third IV 195 coming at you with my intellect. Stay tuned. Chandler Parsons was selected in the second round by the Houston Rockets in the 2011 NBA draft. He was the 38th pick, but on September the 3rd, in 2011, he would decide to sign with a basketball team from France called Cholet Basket because the NBA was going through a lockout at the time. But shortly after, on October the 31st, he would decide to leave Cholet following the ending of the lockout. Parsons would sign with the Rockets on December the 18th, and he had a pretty good season as a rookie. He averaged 9.5 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds. And he was also named to the All-Rookie second team. In Parsons' second season, he would increase in scoring, assists, and in rebounds. Throughout his sophomore season, he averaged 15.5 points, 3.5 assists, and 5 rebounds. And during the season, on March the 3rd, back in 2013, he would get a career high at the time. He scored 32 points, and the Houston Rockets won the game against the Dallas Mavericks 136-103. The Rockets would go on to advance to the 2013 playoffs, and they were the 8th seed, with a record of 45 wins and 37 losses. This is where Parsons really showed that he has the potential to be a future star in the league. This was also his first playoff appearance. During the series against OKC, he averaged 18 points, 4 assists, and 6.5 rebounds. But unfortunately, the Rockets would lose in 6 games. In Parsons' 3rd year, this was his best statistical season. He averaged 17 points, 4 assists, and 5.5 rebounds. And during the season, on January the 24th, back in 2014, Parsons did something spectacular. He set an NBA record for the most 3-pointers made in a half. He hit 10 3-pointers in the second half. But unfortunately, the Rockets lost that game to the Memphis Grizzlies 88-87. And what made what he did even more amazing was the fact that he never hit any 3-pointers in the first half. That game, he also scored a career-high 34 points. And what he did was also a franchise record. He was the first person to do this in the Rockets franchise, for scoring the most 3-pointers in a regular season game. The Rockets would also advance to the playoffs for the second consecutive time, and they were the 4th seed. They increased their wins and loss record from the previous season to 54 wins and 28 losses. And Parsons didn't fail to show up again in his second playoff appearance. This was his best playoff average in his career as well. He averaged 19 points, 2 assists, and 7 rebounds during the series versus the Portland Trailblazers. But unfortunately, the Rockets would fall again in the first round and lost in 6 games. Remember this?
A 3 wins the series. It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, good! Good! And the Blazers win the series for the first time in 14 years!
Yeah, I know, that sucks, right? But this would be the last time that you would see Parsons in a Rockets jersey, because during the 2014 offseason, he became a restricted free agent on July the 10th. He was offered $46 million from the Dallas Mavericks, and the Rockets declined to match the offer sheet. And 5 days later, on July the 15th, he officially signed with the Mavericks. Parsons had a pretty solid first year with the Mavericks. In 66 games, he averaged 16 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds. The Mavericks would advance to the playoffs, but this is where you would start to see red flags in Parsons' career. He would injure his knee and was ruled out for the rest of the playoffs. In the first game, he scored 10 points, had 2 assists, and grabbed 6 rebounds. But the Mavericks lost to the Rockets 118-108, and the Mavericks would go on to lose the series in 5 games. This would be the last time that you would see Parsons in the playoffs in his career. After this knee injury, Parsons would really start to decline. He returned on November the 15th back in 2015 after recovering from knee surgery that he had during the offseason, and this was the least that he scored since his jump statistically from his sophomore season at the time. For the 2015 to 2016 season, he averaged 14 points. This was also the least amount of games that he played since his rookie season. He only played for 61 games because on March the 25th, 2 years ago, he would get surgery on his knee to repair the torn meniscus in his right knee, and he would miss the rest of that season. This would be the last time that he would be in a Mavericks jersey because during the 2016 offseason, he decided to sign a multi-year deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. But due to his injuries, Parsons was doing light-duty stuff because he just came off of an injury, and he didn't play in the preseason, including the first 6 regular season games for the 2016-17 season. He made his season debut on November the 6th, and he only played for 22 minutes, and he started as well, but he played really bad. He didn't score any points, and he missed all of the 8 shots that he attempted in the game, and the Grizzlies went on to lose 100-94 against the Portland Trail Blazers. He played for 6 games in a row for the Grizzlies, but November the 18th would be his last game for a few weeks because he missed 18 games from November the 19th and didn't return until December the 21st versus the Detroit Pistons because he had a bone bruise on his left knee. His return wasn't good either because he only scored 2 points, had 2 assists, and grabbed only 2 rebounds, playing for just 15 minutes. On March the 13th last year, he would partially tear the meniscus in his left knee, and he would go on to miss the rest of that season. This was Parsons' worst season to date. He only averaged 6 points, 2 assists, and 2.5 rebounds. And this was the least amount of games that he played in his career. He also registered the lowest field goal percentage in his career as well. This past season wasn't as bad as the 2016-17 season because he averaged better stats and he played more games. But this past season was the least amount of minutes that he played in his career. So the question is, what happened to Chandler Parsons' solid NBA career? So you can see that a big part of the reason why Chandler Parsons is not producing like he did a couple of seasons ago is due to the injuries, but it's not the only reason. Here's more. When the Rockets never matched the Mavericks offer sheet that they had for Parsons and then he left, this is what Harden said when he was asked about the pieces that the Rockets lost during that offseason. He said, "Dwight Howard and I are the cornerstones of the Rockets. The rest of the guys are role players or pieces that complete our team. We've lost some pieces and we added some pieces. I think we'll be fine next season." And Parsons took what Harden said the wrong way, and he responded tweeting, "Think before you speak." And then he said, "It's a pretty ridiculous statement if he meant that. I'm excited to go to Dallas. I'm ready for the next step, a bigger role. If anybody should understand, it's James, since he was in the same situation in OKC. Then he got the chance to come to Houston and shine." So here's the thing now. This is just my opinion. I disagree with Chandler Parsons. Here's why. He wasn't prepared to take a bigger role. Parsons is a complementary player. He's not a player that can be the #1 option or even the #2 option. He's a third option kind of guy. He needs a player creating for him to boost the level of his game. So after his time with the Grizzlies, he should just find a team where he knows he doesn't have to put in so much work, trying to be the first option or even the second option. And if he does make this decision, he might be able to get back to how he used to be a couple of seasons ago. Also, playing a bigger role took a toll on his body, and not everybody's body can handle so much heavy duty. If you think what I'm saying is far-fetched, here's an example. Kyrie Irving. He's a skilled player, but he can't be a leader because his body doesn't allow him to, even though he has the passion to be one. Before LeBron's return to Cleveland, as you can see, the amount of games Kyrie would play, he would miss a good amount of time because he would get injured a lot. But after LeBron returned to Cleveland back in 2014, Kyrie was healthy for most of the time, and he played over 70 games in 3 separate seasons and competed in the finals a number of times as well. And look at what happened to Kyrie this year. It's unfortunate, but he got injured again and wasn't able to play over 60 games. And he's out for the whole playoffs because he had playoff-ending knee surgery. When Kyrie plays with a player that's better than him, he barely gets injured. So hopefully Boston can land a player that's better than Kyrie because it would help his body out a lot. And I believe that will happen this offseason because Danny Ainge is a genius. So this proves that some players' bodies can't handle a lot of responsibilities. But that's it for the video, guys. That's what's happening to Chandler Parsons' career right now. And like I always say, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button to get notified whenever time I drop a video. And comment below. Tell me what you think. Your opinion matters. And follow me on my Twitter and Instagram account. It's the same name as my YouTube channel. And share this video. Peace!
You can call me Michael Jordan, cause I'm 6'6". So many rings, I'm snatching everybody like who this? Cola said the sound gon' grab the crowd up by its neck. I heard that and thought, hence, Hezzy boy, you up next.